So we're gonna go over a little bit of history today, and then I'm gonna teach you the alphabet for the Korean language, okay? So I'm gonna explain how that came about, and then I'm gonna show you and talk about the alphabet. And the alphabet's like really cool once you learn it. It's really easy to read words. The only hard part is translating them, right? Knowing what they mean. But the Korean alphabet's super, super old. Originally, where Korea is situated, it's situated between China and Japan, two really, really strong countries. And they used to use the Chinese alphabet, which was, or characters called Hanja, and they would write like that. But Korean language is different from any of the languages that the people in China would use. So what they decided to do, one of the rulers of Korea decided to make their own alphabet. So he made his own alphabet called Hangul. It was originally made of 28 characters, but then they changed it so only 24 were used. And he completely redesigned it to make it easier because not everyone could read the alphabet. The characters that were taught, the Chinese characters that were taught were really, really hard. So only really, really high up nobles, people who were rich had access to the education to learn all those characters. So the king wanted to make something that everyone could use, whether you were a noble or a commoner. So he redid the alphabet so that way anyone could learn it. And I think that's pretty nice, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So let me see here. It's actually considered one of the best alphabets in the world created. It's considered really, really helpful and easy to read. They say people can pick it up really quickly once you memorize it. It's very easy to put together. So that's a little history on the alphabet. I'm going to do something called screen sharing. I'm going to pull up my screen so I can show you. I made a whole sheet with the letters so I can show and share with you guys. Let's see. I'm going to share.
Do I hear MacBook sounds? Do I hear MacBook sounds?
Probably. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see the screen right here?
Yes, yes.
Okay, with all the different words and letters?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So these are a bunch of the different letters in the Korean alphabet. And so the alphabet that we use is considered the Roman alphabet. So when we translate a letter into the alphabet that we use, it would be the Roman translation. And then how it sounds. So this would be equal to an A, this character right here. Make the same sound as when you say A, father. So that ah sound. So if I were to say something in Korean and it has that letter, it would have an ah sound like in father. Pretty cool, right? Everyone following along?
Yeah.
Awesome. So these are a bunch of the different letters. So there's ah, o. This is a different type of O. See how they're like a little weird? So this E-O here is like the sound in surgeon. It's like an E-O. This one's a regular O. They have a couple of different vowels, huh? Different sounds. There's a U. There's an EU. There's a lot of things going through here. And then you've got some funky ones like this one right here. Does everyone see this one? Yes? That's a G and a K. That's a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Yes? So it might be like a G or a K, right? That might be a little hard. So it's got a little bit of a sound in between, like when you say gold. It's not super strong like G, and it's not super strong like a K, like K, like kite. But it's a little in between. And when you learn, when you go through and you learn them, everything's put into pieces. So one piece might have a stronger sound compared to another sound wherever it's placed. But this is all of the different letters. This is on the side right here. This is like each of the regular letters. So A, O, U, I, E, G, D, M, all of that. And then if you look at this column over here, it's really different, right? These are all of what we consider like double sounds or double consonants. So here it takes an A and it adds another line and it makes it a YA. So if something from here, one of the vowels has 2 lines, then it adds a Y in front of it. So in O, you add another line and you have a YO. You have a U over here, you have 2 lines, you have YU. And then if you put 2 different vowels together, so let's say you take 2 different vowels over here. So this one has an O and an A. It makes a W sound. So whatever the first vowel would be, that would be a W, and the second value would be the sound vowel would be the sound after that. So here, that's an OA, so that we would have a WA. We have an OAE, so it would be a WAE. You have an OI, you'd have a, this one's a little different, but it's basically a W or OE, the way it sounds out. But it's really cool when you put 2 together. And then down here, if you take any of the certain vowels that are over here, so like this G/K that we were talking about before, you put 2 together, it makes an even stronger sound. So like the G is a lot more pronounced, like it's stronger. This one over here is like the D/T over here, which is really soft. It's like D. It's not very strong. If you add 2 of them, if you put 2 next to each other, it's a really strong T, like in tight. Same thing with these 2, right? The P, the S, and the J. That makes sense? Yes? So it's really hard to, I'm not going to go through each one. The only way that you guys are really going to understand it is I'm going to upload this to the UMac Nations page, but is if you guys kind of look through these yourself. And I have a little really fun worksheet for you guys to do to go along with it. But I wanted to give you guys a little something about how the alphabet looks and how it sounds too. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions so far? No? Nothing so far? Okay, if you guys have a question, feel free to put it in the chat or to ask, okay? Okay, now there are some letters that aren't here. Can you guys find a letter that you guys maybe would use in an everyday situation that we don't have here?
Maybe an X.
An X? Oh, there are a couple. What else?
L.
An L? Well, we have an L. It's a little.
Oh yeah, right there, yeah.
Yeah.
F. There's no
An
F.
F. There's no F. There's no X.
There's no Z.
There's no V, and there's no Z. So there's no, ready? I have it right here. There's no F, there's no Q, there's no V, there's no X, and there's no Z. That's a little weird, right?
Yeah.
How would we make something like coffee sound? Or for instance, I put my name up here, my first name. How would I say my first name? There's a V in it, right? So Koreans have a lot of their own words for everything, but when you transfer something over, they sometimes change which letter is used to fit their alphabet and to fit the sounds that they use. So I lived abroad in Korea for a year, and none of my friends could say my name the way it's pronounced with a V. They could not say Savannah. So what they would do is they replaced the V with the B. So if you look over here, right, that's how they would pronounce it, Savannah. That's what they would say. They would fit it to the way it works for them in their alphabet. Same thing with coffee. Instead of saying coffee, they would say coffee, and they would use a P instead. Isn't that a little silly? A little different?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right? Yep. Can you guys think of any words that we would use that we would have to change if we were to translate them into Korean?
Zebra.
Zebra. Oh, that's a good one. So they would probably, if they were going to change zebra, they would probably take that Z sound and they would probably use an S instead. What else? Name another word. What?
Quail.
Quail?
Yeah.
That's a good one. They would probably use a K or a G for quail. What else? One more. Just say it out loud.
Fox.
Fox?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. They might use a K or an S for fox, right? So transferring things over, but you have to think.
Flamingo.
You have to remember though that they have their own version of that word in that language. So for instance, we have elephant, right? An elephant has a bit of an F sound.
Echo.
They don't say elephant. They have
Flamingo.
elephant is cookie.
Yeah.
Completely different word. Yep. So the other thing that's different about the Korean alphabet is they stack. So if you look right here, some of the consonants like A, N, S, they put underneath a vowel. So this first one right here, that's Y, E, O, and then there's a K underneath. You guys see that? So sometimes they put the consonants underneath. Does that make sense? Awesome. There we go. So as you're going through, sometimes the letters are stacked. You'll never put a vowel underneath. It'll always be a consonant that goes underneath a vowel. And so sometimes when you have this right here is an S-A-N, you might have the S and the A put together and then put the N underneath both of them when you're stacking. So it looks pretty cool, right? A little different. Yep. And then there's one more really cool thing about it. Sometimes if you have a consonant at the end underneath, it might transfer over. So this might be one sound, but it might change sounds. So if you have a vowel and it's by itself, there's no sound in front of it, there's no N, there's no M, D, or T, you would put a circle in front of it to make it stand by itself. So sometimes if you have a circle in front of it and there's no vowel, if there's a vowel underneath a part before it, it'll a consonant underneath the part before it, it'll transfer over to the sound with that vowel. So down here I have a bunch of words. This word right here is the Korean language, Hangukgo. So right here you have the K and then you have a U and a K and it's stacked. But next to it there's a vowel that has no sound in front of it. So the K that's here transfers over to the sound that's here. So right here, this would be guk by itself. But with this, it would be guk and then this would be ko. You put the K down with the O over here. So it transfers over. It's a little weird. It might not make sense right now, especially as you guys are going through. But that's kind of the idea. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show, I made you guys kind of like a worksheet. And if you guys have pen or paper near you, we're going to try and do this worksheet together. Okay, so if you guys can grab pen and paper, we're going to try and do it together. You guys ready?
Okay.
Yes? No? You guys all set? Pen and paper?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. So what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna upload this so you guys can like download it and try it, but I thought I would show it to you guys. So now here we go. Let's see if this shows up. Aha. Now I have to pull it up so I can see it too. So here is a little challenge for you guys. You ready? Can you guys all see this? It's got pictures in the middle and Korean on one side. Yes? Okay. So I took a bunch of words and I made it a bit of a challenge. So right now, I want you guys to try and copy how this looks. Okay? Copy how it looks. Yep, it is from the retreat in summer camp. This is our warm-up. Okay, we are gonna build off of this, but I wanted to give you guys something kind of easy first. So you're gonna copy that. When you're done, give me a thumbs up so I can see.
How do I even write?
Make it like a capital E, a capital H. Just copy the line. See if you can do it. When you're done, give me a thumbs up.
What about
Thank
that?
you, Mr. Villarreal.
What
Thank
about
you, guys. There we go. I'll give you guys one more minute. Yep, and I'm sure you know what it means too, sir. How you doing there, Lucas? Good?
Hi, Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
Ha.
You guys have this first one?
Yep.
Yes? Awesome. So you guys can practice. This is a good way to practice writing them is by reading them and writing them down, okay? So what I'm gonna do and I'm gonna upload this is you're gonna take that Korean alphabet I showed you and you're gonna take this sheet and you're gonna take these Korean letters and you're gonna try and write, what is it doing? You're gonna try and write them in Korean or translate them into the Roman alphabet. So here, that first one, I see that's a T. And the next one I see is an A-E sound. And I'm going to write it into the Roman alphabet here. And then I'm going to put what it would be in English over here based on the picture. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. So, and now at the bottom, I have a couple more words for you guys to copy. What are all these circles on my screen? I don't know what any of these are.
I think you're in like the whiteboard mode.
I'm in the, oh boy. But here, I want you guys to try and write down the Korean, Romanized, and English way for you guys to practice. Oh, it's happening again. I'm not even on the screen. For you guys to practice taking the Korean, making it into our alphabet, and then figuring out what it means. Does that make sense? And I have to try and figure out how to get all of these circles to stop because I'm not doing anything and they're just popping up. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's not you. It's not you.
It's not me?
It's a student annotating the screen.
Okay, well, whoever's playing with the screen, please stop doing that now. Thank you. Okay, and why don't you guys try copying the Korean, the Romanized, and the English. And then that way, when you guys get to working on that worksheet that I'm going to upload, you kind of have an idea of what you're going to do.
So quiet.
I think because almost everyone's on mute too. If you guys have any questions or you need any help, feel free to just unmute yourself and ask, okay? Okay, who's drawing circles again? I see ya.
How do they even draw?
I have no idea. It's really cool, but at the same time, not very helpful right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Bless you.
Thank you.
What just
I know
happened?
the screen, guys.
There's a line still.
Yep. I see it. Don't worry about it.
Put your hands up.
You got it, Rashab?
No. I say put your hands up. It wasn't me.
How you doing, Lucian? Did you write all this down?
Is that a space in goodbye? I assume there's a small space there, right?
This one right here, right? Yes, that is a space. How are we doing, guys? How you doing, Lucas? Good? How about you, Rashab? Good?
Yeah.
Yay!
You guys got it? You reading your name on your belt, sir? It's interesting. I spoke to Master Balantoni, and he has a lot of kids who have like their names in English and then a special Korean name. So when they get their names on their belt, they've been getting their name in English and then whatever their other name is in Korean underneath, which is super cool.
Yeah.
So because of the letters, or because there's like no.
Well,
Like
sometimes they actually have like completely different names.
All right.
So, my name here, right? Master Savannah Glab. In Korea, I had a Korean name that I went by, that my friends would call me. So sometimes it just transfers a little bit easier. Most names in Korean are 2 syllables. So my best friend's name is Soo-jin, Awan, and Sehee. Whereas some names are a little bit longer or a little bit more complex. So it kind of just fits, you know, an ID card and all of that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yes, Lucas.
What's my Korean?
What?
My name in Korean.
It would still be the same. And what I want you to do is on this worksheet at the very top, there's a place where you put your name. When you get the alphabet, I want you to try and write it yourself or find the letters that match up with your letters.
Okay.
Sound good? Yep. So we did this at the
Lucas.
retreat.
Sorry,
But
Lucas, when you get your black belt, you'll get it on your belt.
Yeah.
It looks exactly the same.
What we're gonna do though, every week, I'm gonna give you a little bit of history at the beginning of whatever we're talking about. And then I'm gonna give a little bit of a Korean words and grammar that goes with it. And I'm gonna make worksheets that I'm gonna upload. So you guys can do them from wherever you are. And while you might not really get to see it and hear it as much, it's a way to start reading it. And there are other ways. From there.
When is class over?
In a few minutes. Have some patience. How are you doing, Thomas?
Good.
Guys got it? Yes? You guys have any questions on the history I spoke about at the beginning? Any of the things that I went over? You guys can ask.
Not really.
Ring again.
Can you, what's the phonetic on goodbye? It's like
Goodbye.
Ani,
Annyeong hee
안녕히
keseyo.
계세요. 안녕히 계세요.
So it's basically the way it's stacked is the parts that it's gonna sound most of the time. Oh no, I mixed that up. How do I undo that? Aha, okay. But basically, so for here, the way it's stacked, 안녕, 안녕하세요. The way it's stacked is usually the way it's gonna be put with their sounds.
Oh my God.
Whoever's drawing on that screen, I'm gonna find ya. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? I can't hear you. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
See if we can do something about that.
Who can you hear?
Someone.
Who is drawing on the board?
But that's really how it's set up in terms of the way it sounds. This is just kind of all clumped together. But on the other sheet that I made, there are notes at the bottom of how things are stacked and how they end up sounding with the way that they're stacked. So, for instance, the way that there's an independent vowel here, the last consonant here is going to transfer over and sound. So on and then ni, yo. So things like that. So there are notes as you're going through. My biggest recommendation I can give you guys, if you have a lot of free time, there's, a million apps out there. There are programs online that have like principal worksheets and whatnot. I'm going to upload a bunch, but just play around with it. One of the things that I do, and I know it drives senior instructor Tracy nuts, and Rashab and Lucas can attest to this, is I'll play Korean music. And I'll practice. There's one song, and they go, what do we say when we're counting? So you're catching it the way that they're saying it at different speeds and different tones as well. So I suggest that you guys, try that out. Listen to some music. Maybe watch their like TV shows and things on YouTube that you can find, and see if you can follow along with it. Or there are a bunch of books like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson in Korean. So you guys can try and like find a little piece of it and see if you recognize or if you can translate the letters from the Korean to the Romanized. You might not be able to read it yet, but that's something that you guys can try and, do as well, which is really, really fun. And that's kind of a way to see and then kind of, if you're curious about it and you want to learn it, it's really not a hard language to learn. It's just something that you guys have to practice a lot. Does that make sense? Because nothing comes easy, just like when you have to memorize your form or even the student creed. How many times you have to say the student creed over and over for you to like magically almost, right, know it all by yourself. Where at the end of class, say the student creed. Yes? You say it over and over and over, and then all of a sudden you guys kind of have it. So Instructor Villarreal, challenge for you. Can you say the black belt creed?
Actually, no.
So Master Edwards used to make us say it over and over at the end of class. Where we
Yeah,
have
that's one I don't do over and over, right?
Yep,
You're right.
because at UMAC, it wasn't, systems are set up a little differently, so we don't say it at the end of class. We still say the student creed. So, but after doing it all those years with him, I still have it memorized because it's done over and over.
You're right.
So
Absolutely.
I suggest that all of you guys, practice, try writing stuff down, try writing your name. And I'll put up like a bunch of fun worksheets and things for you guys to do. I know that if you're a Briarcliff or a Shrub Oak student, right, you guys get points for if you upload pictures and worksheets for certain things. So you guys can upload them or you can send them to us and we can like help you with them. And you guys can get some points or do some super cool stuff with that. How does that sound? Good?
Awesome, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes. I will say on here, if you have any questions and you want to ask, feel free to ask. I'm going to upload all of these to that page on Facebook. I'm going to email them out. So hopefully we can forward them to the Fishkill, Carmel, Newburgh, LaGrange students as well. So you guys have them.
On the
and-
group, right?
Yeah.
The UMag Nation group?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I know you guys are on that. I've seen you guys post a bit. So, but this way, everyone's got it. Does anyone have any other last minute questions? No? Does everyone understand what I was talking about? Or are we all like really confused?
I understand.
A little both.
This is one of the things where I'm going, how do I teach this over Zoom, right?
Right.
But one of the things that my Korean instructors were so strict. They'll give you material and then they expect each student
Right.
to work on it for themselves because otherwise we won't memorize it, right?
Mhm.
Like the instructors at Taekwondo, they can teach you your form, but if you don't practice it, you're not going to remember it. Yes? So I'm going to give you the material and I'm going to let you guys, and I'll give you worksheets and I'm going to let you guys try it on your own. Yes? And if we get really good, we can even write in the group chat back and forth in Korean. How would that be? That would be pretty cool, right? Pretty awesome. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you guys learned something new and then you guys enjoy the worksheets. I will upload them. I'm going to make new ones for every week. And I'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.
Okay.
I heard.